That kind of programmatic marketing automation and AI background is going to be really helpful today because as CMOs, we have more data, we have more analytics, we have more attribution points than we have ever had before. And how does that help us? And how do we balance that, the data side, right, with more qualitative measures? And we can't ignore or avoid those as well. So I'm just going to get right in and I'm going to ask you because it was interesting. We started talking about the trust epidemic. And, you didn't have to look any farther than like the LinkedIn Edelman study to see that 61% of the business buyers out there worldwide think that we are being intentionally misleading as sales organizations. That's just the tip of the iceberg, right? But you say it's even more prominent or important here in the Nordics. And I love to just talk about why it's important, but why it's even more important where you operate and what we can learn from it.
Yeah, so for sure. So like the Finlands and maybe the Nordics as a whole are kind of a market where the trust angle is a little different. So I would even venture to say that our markets are kind of entirely based on trust, especially on the B2B side. Obviously the four Ps and especially price have an effect, but you can't really understate the importance of kind of trust, sales, and account management that have like very personal relationships to make sure that needs are met, but also that we have the right solution for them, for the customer. And we wouldn't be able to operate if customers didn't trust our messaging, trust our customer reference, or trust the results that we bring. So it's really integral, I feel like, to show the kind of customer pain points and hear the customer's voice, but do it in a relatable and personal way.
So it's interesting because building that trust, B2B relationships worldwide, every C-suite executive I've ever talked to absolutely believes that the B2B world works on relationships. It's a relationship-based business, which means it has to be founded in trust, right? But we've got this big trend where the B2B buyers are on the self-service journey and they're waiting longer and longer to want to even talk to us. So trust is under attack. They're doing that not because they trust us more, they're doing that because they trust us less. And as wonderful as AI is, that's another level of distrust that's being brought into the equation. Is this really the company talking? Is this AI talking? Can I believe it? Is it hallucinating? Right? How do you think about that? Because AI discovery is super important. And how are you thinking about using that in building trust for your brand?
Yeah, so I think it's twofold, right? So like AI is here to stay. We can't put the genie's back in the bottle. What I would like to say is that, yeah, we need to care about that side for sure. And I'm sure we'll talk about it later today. But it also makes it more important that we bring the human element. So like we do a lot more in-house events or like, in-person events. We do a lot of thought leadership content, for example. We show the people that we are, our personality, what our brand is about, and what do we stand for. And I feel like that has a lot more kind of pull in a time when there's a lot of AI slop around. So if that makes sense.